So today we're continuing on with the smartphone camera comparisons with Google's Pixel 6a and matching it up against the Pixel 6 Pro. Now, while these two devices are dramatically different in terms of pricing, the 6 Pro costs $900 while the 6a is only $450. Both of these devices actually use the same exact Tensor chipset on the inside to power the phone, but also for the computational photography as well. What is different between these two devices, though, is the camera hardware, which we're going to get to in a second. But we're going to actually take a look to see if Google's computational photography really makes that much of a difference, or is it the hardware that makes a difference in a smartphone? Let's take a look. As you're looking at these first photos, let me remind you a little bit about the camera hardware on these two devices. The new Pixel 6a sports two cameras on the back with a 12.2 megapixel main camera and then a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera as well. And both of those are able to capture video at 4K, while the front facing 8 megapixel sensor is limited to 1080p video capture. And then when we look at the Pixel 6 Pro, you actually have a triple camera system on the back there with a brand new 15 megapixel main sensor and then a 48 megapixel 4x telephoto camera and then an ultra wide camera as well with a 12 megapixel sensor. And those can capture 4K video at 60 frames per second. And then for the front facing camera, you have an 11.1 megapixel sensor that has an upgrade in video capture here to 4K 30 FPS. Now, having larger sensors for its main cameras on the back of the phone, the Pixel 6 Pro definitely takes much better video here, but the Pixel 6a actually has a slight advantage when it comes to the ultra wide camera. As you can see here, you get a much wider field of view. The magnification is 0.6x versus 0.7x on the Pixel 6 Pro. Of course, the main advantage that you have on the Pixel 6 Pro is that 4x telephoto camera on the back. You can zoom in digitally on the Pixel 6a as you can on the Pixel 6 Pro, but then switching over to the 4x zoom, you definitely see a lot more detail on Google's more expensive device. When it comes to video capture from the selfie cameras, Google's Pixel 6 Pro does definitely have the big advantage here, being able to capture in 4K video, but also because that sensor is a whole lot larger, it captures a lot more detail, even if you switch it down to 1080p in low light situations and with dynamic range. Now, it doesn't matter if you have 4K video or not from the selfie camera. In low light situations, you simply want the video to be usable. And in this situation, the Pixel 6a definitely doesn't compare at all to what you get out of the Pixel 6 Pro for its selfie camera. There's really no comparison here. And that's going to do it for this camera comparison between the Google 6 Pro and the Google 6a. Let me know what you think of the results in the comments below. But I do have to say, if you're buying a smartphone purely for the cameras, the Pixel 6a is really good, but the 6 Pro is definitely where it's at. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more camera comparisons with Google's new Pixel 6a, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.